you are what we call forest plots. I've shown you a few before. And at the top of this plot, this is for overall dementia. You can see the community studies, and at the bottom, just below is community and institution, and finally institution studies. So you can see that the prevalence of dementia in the community, if we look at patients either 55 or 65 and older, is around 6%, so very common. But when you get into the institutional settings, more than 67%, and many of the studies were even higher than that, so very, very prevalent in those settings. If we look, and the pattern was the same for all types of dementia. For Alzheimer's disease, 4% in the community, 37% in institution. Vascular dementia, 2% of patients in the community, 55 and older have vascular dementia, whereas in institution, 12% of patients are affected by it. We also looked at Lewy body dementia. There were relatively few studies and certainly no Canadian data. But you can see the incidence and prevalence. Prevalence varied considerably between 0.27 and 5.3 per thousand, so very broad, obviously not as common as the other types of dementia. And finally, frontotemporal dementia, which again, no Canadian study, and does affect relatively younger individuals, of course, and with a prevalence of about almost 0.7 to 2.6 per thousand amongst those who are 65 and older in the community. There were 10 Canadian studies, 7 of which we could include in our meta-analysis, so combine them to get broader estimates. There were 8 that were national and 2 for Manitoba. And the prevalence ranged between 38 to 215 per thousand. And you might think, wow, that's a really broad range. But that's because